A warm welcome to another episode of SciencePunk Explains the Frame Budget Approach. In the last episode, we asked how one would actually notice whether the frame budget approach is physically more than just a new language. Now comes the next practical question. How realistic is it really to treat a system as closed when real systems are almost always interacting with their environment?
Okay, so to get started, let's all think back to our first physics classes. You probably remember this idea of a perfectly closed system, right? The classic image is this perfect box. It's completely sealed off from the rest of the universe. Absolutely nothing gets in and nothing gets out. No energy, no matter, no information, nada.
And this idea is super useful. It lets physicists build these nice, clean models, run their calculations, and just ignore all the messy, complicated stuff happening in the outside world. It's the foundation for so many textbook examples, precisely because it makes the math elegant and, frankly, doable.
Okay, but here's where theory crashes right into messy reality. We have to ask the question, does this perfect, idealized box actually describe the physical world we're trying to understand? Is it really the right place to start if we want to know how things actually work?
Well, the short answer is nope, not really. The moment you look closely at any real physical system, you find out that the perfect box is basically a myth. Reality is always, in some way, leaky.
And what's so fascinating is just how universal this is. I mean, think about the coffee on your desk right now. It's constantly losing heat to the air around it. Or your phone's battery. It's only useful because it's open, discharging power. Even the most high-tech, sensitive lab equipment gets shaken by tiny vibrations from the floor. Living things, sensors, and especially the incredibly delicate world of quantum experiments, they're all constantly and unavoidably connected to their environment. There's always an exchange.
So this is the crucial distinction we have to get straight. On one side, you've got the closed system. It's a powerful idea, a useful model, but it's an ideal. And on the other side, you've got the open system, which is, well, just reality, the physical world we actually live in. In an open system, there is a constant flow, a two-way exchange with the outside world. This isn't some rare exception. It is the absolute norm.
And I really want to hammer this point home. This isn't just some minor technicality we can sweep under the rug. It's a fundamental truth about how the universe actually works. Pretty much every single system you could ever want to study, from a tiny atom to a whole galaxy, is an open system.
But here's where we need to make a really critical turn in our thinking. What if all this interaction, all this leakiness, isn't just a problem? What if it's not just random noise that we have to filter out to see what's really going on? What if it's actually part of the main story? This right here is a core insight of the frame budget approach. It's asking us to completely flip our perspective. Openness isn't a flaw in our experiment or an imperfection in our model. It's an essential active ingredient in how the system behaves. It's a feature, not a bug.
You see, instead of being a problem, this openness is what makes physics interesting. It actively shapes how a system changes over time. It's what allows for fundamental processes like dissipation. A system losing energy, cooling down, settling into a stable state. And maybe the most important part, openness is the very reason we can observe or measure anything at all.
So if we accept that openness is the rule, then we need a framework that treats it that way, right from the start. We can't just treat it as some kind of correction we tack on at the end. It has to be built in from the ground up. And this is exactly where the frame budget approach comes in. It doesn't try to wish the environment away or pretend that perfect isolation exists. Instead, it gives us a clear language and a set of practical tools designed specifically to account for all these crucial interactions. And this is how it does it with two core tools. Think of it like this. First, you have the budget. This is like a super meticulous bookkeeper, tracking every single thing that gets exchanged between the system and its environment, what comes in and what goes out. And then you have the channel, which describes the actual physical pathways, the pipes, the wires, if you will, through which that exchange happens.
Now let's be super clear here. In the FBA, a channel is not just some fuzzy metaphor. It's a concrete, operational idea. It represents the real, physical connections that link a system to its surroundings, the very connections that allow for interaction and, as we're about to see, for measurement itself.
All right, so this is where it all starts coming together, building towards one of the deepest questions in all of physics. What in the world is a measurement? How do we ever know anything about a system?
From the FBA perspective, the answer is just stunningly direct and physical.
A measurement isn't some passive magical gaze where we look at a system without touching it. No, a measurement is a physical process. To measure is to interact. It means physically coupling our measurement device to the thing we want to learn about. So we can break it down into 3 simple steps. First, any real system is fundamentally open. Second, it's always interacting with its environment through all kinds of physical channels. And third, a measurement is just a special kind of interaction, one that we, the observers, set up on purpose through a specific channel to get information out.
And this is a really profound point. It means we never just see a system as it is in its totality. What we are able to see, what's even visible to us in the first place, is determined by the real physical channels of access that we choose to use. In this view, the act of looking is an act of coupling.
All right, let's wrap this up. Here are the 3 crucial points to take away from this explainer. First, perfect isolation is a useful myth, but the real universe is open and interactive. Second, this openness isn't a bug, it's a feature that actually drives physical processes and makes observation possible. And third, the frame budget approach is built for this reality, giving us the tools we need, like channels and budgets, to describe it properly. And this leads us right to our next topic, and a really important question. If every measurement is a real physical interaction, it can't be a one-way street, right? In the next episode, we'll look at what a system can actually see about itself or its environment, and why measurement is never entirely innocent. Bye for now, until the next episode, and stay curious.